Hey guys, Joe Pye here, Advanced Innovations in Austin, Texas. Welcome back to my shop. Well, it is official that sometime in the next 6 months I will have to vacate this building, move this shop, or shut it down. It's troubling for me. This is a big part of who I am, what I've done my entire life, and I enjoy doing it, not only for my customers, but for the YouTube community, my patrons. The dynamic behind moving a machine shop is pretty complex, and these machines are heavy and really expensive to move. And unfortunately, this big guy behind me, this 4028 Spindle, it's got to go. It's the Target shop that I have in line. It won't fit. It's just too big. The floor's not poured correctly for it, so I have to sell it. And that's gonna, well, it's not gonna completely break my heart because I will downsize. I'll still have CNC capability here, but it's just gonna be a smaller table. This machine is a 40-inch X20Y capability, and it was purchased specifically to do large phenolic plates, which is why I have all the micarta scrap laying around, right? Anyway, before I wrap this up, before I move everything out of here, and there's quite a few things missing, I figured I would show you how the shop is laid out and the logic behind it that I've accumulated over a couple of years in a couple of different locations, and this has worked out quite well. So if you're thinking about streamlining your shop, adding new equipment, expanding, starting, whatever, I hope this helps. So let's take a look and share with what I got. My shop is a metal building. It is a 40 by 8,300 and 3,200 square foot shop, and it is laid out in a large horseshoe. 3 large bay doors, 3 20-foot doors on here, 20 by 8s. And that was a shoehorn getting this big guy in here because I had to take the motors and stuff off the top to get it in the door. It is that close of a fit. Being laid out in a horseshoe allowed me to do a couple of different things. I put all my abrasive stuff down here on the end. This is where the blast unit is, the grinding wheels, the compressor, the bandsaw, heat treat. That's a little heat treat oven right there. It's a great oven. I moved in a radial arm saw that I've had for 9,000 years. Buffers, sanders, saws, Honda 750. And this area right here, this is where the stock rack is. And the stock rack is adjacent to one of the doors, perpendicular to the door. So when the truck pulls up or I pull my trailer in here, I can just offload 12-foot bars directly and comfortably onto this rack. That is step number 1. Step number 2 is the position of the horizontal bandsaw. The horizontal bandsaw is in line with the long bars on the rack, so they can come off, go on the rollers, and come right directly into the saw. Come out of the saw, you're holding the part, easily deburred and onto the cart, which is normally somewhere in this area here. So that's logic number 1. Keep all the abrasives as far away from all the precision stuff as you possibly can. Mr. Spider. And keep your material somewhere in line with the door, the stock rack in line with the door, and the stock rack adjacent to the saw and the deburring equipment. All right, that being said, the spider wall is now on my back, and I'm looking straight down the aisle of my shop. My manual machine is right here. This is my Enco 949 Bridgeport knockoff. This has been a fantastic machine. The only thing I would say is bad about these, there's little plastic spline bushings in the head that go bad, and it rattles. So if you've watched some of my YouTube stuff and you hear that rattling going on, well, it needs plastic bushings, which I have, but I can't take the head apart and use the machine at the same time. So CNC, the machining, all the machining is done right here in the center. This is a 3-spindle shop. I got the 4020A, 21ATC VMC, and 1340 Clausing Bridgeport. This is the center third of the shop. This lines up with the center 20-foot door behind the CNC. Over here in the corner, you may have noticed the gold shield right here. There's a welding area back there. That is a 200 amp TIG and stick welder back there. I don't do any MIG. I don't weld aluminum. This is primarily stainless and mild steel here. And that is a MaxStar unit back there. The MaxStar unit is a lift arc technology where you just put your electrode right directly on your crack or your seam, and when you lift the electrode, the arc fires. So no more stick in your electrode to the part. It is a fantastic setup. This shop is 13485 compliant. That is on the way to the ISO 9000. But, you know, I'm just a small shop and I don't have the money for the ISO certification, which is relatively expensive to get and maintain. And I just refuse to do it. So I don't do aerospace or NAFTAR kind of firearm stuff, so I'm not going to do it. The end third of the shop here is the assembly area. This is a 6x12 table, which is normally spotlessly clean, but I am cleaning out here, so forgive the mess on the table. 6x12 carpeted assembly table is really fantastic for stuffing boxes, staging inventory, and such. The inventory that I do have, the hardware that I do have, regardless whether it's personal, like the model fixtures and such, or on the flip side, for all the orthopedic instrumentation that I've done over the years, and that's what this shop was born of, custom surgical instruments. We have an A side, we have a B side. This is the B side, labeled A through G across the top, and 1 through 8 across the side. All the totes are numbered accordingly. And on the end, we have a clipboard, so exactly where everything is. If I'm looking for something, I can probably find it pretty quick. So the workflow, as you would have it, is the work comes in the door on the end. The raw material is logged in, cut. All the bars are serial numbered for how much I paid per inch, per foot, per pound when I bought it. It's tracked as it's cut off. It's moved into the center cell here for the machining. It may go back over there for deburring, but any of the debris that's created from the deburring is naturally on that end of the shop. And it's a really good idea, guys, to keep that stuff away from the spindles and the tables. And if you think, oh, there's nothing in the air, I'll tell you what, buff a piece or blast a piece, turn the lights out and get a flashlight. And it looks like a snow globe. So wear a respirator or dust mask if you do that, because that stuff is in the air and it will get in your lungs. Shelves are starting to get kind of bare. I am cleaning stuff out, throwing stuff out, selling stuff, moving stuff to the storage facility, and that is about it. On the other side of this wall, this is a 40-foot wide wall and there's a 20-foot space on the other side. I have an inspection area, I have an engineering pod, and I have the administration, purchasing and stuff, and this is a secure lock for somebody that comes in the front door. They are locked out and can go no farther than a very small cubby right behind that door. Building has served me well. I will miss this facility, but until the D-Day comes, I will do my very best to support your needs and wants and desires as far as watching stuff getting made and producing YouTube videos. I would love to finish up my little models before all these machines ultimately get unplugged, unwired, and potentially moved into storage. This is breaking my heart, guys. But I do appreciate your support in the meantime. Thank you very much. And for now, Joe Pye, I'm out.